Today on Oz, the ugly side of the beauty business. Are you paying more for fancy packaging than the actual product you can get cheaper anyway? Are you spending top dollar for watered-down versions? Industry insiders confess. Plus, the symptoms are easy to miss. Adult ADHD. 4 surprising signs you may have it. Coming up next on Oz.
All right, today, beauty insiders break their silence on what the cosmetics industry is trying to keep from you. Before you shell out another dollar on a beauty product, you can't miss the secrets they're about to spill. Beauty. It's a multi-billion-dollar business, raking in big bucks by making big promises. But are beauty companies selling us short when it comes to delivering on cosmetic claims? Beauty insiders Perry Romanowski and Andrea Robinson have the scoop on the not-so-pretty side of the beauty biz. He's a world-renowned cosmetic chemist with a no-holds-barred reputation for breaking down ingredients and advertising hype. She's an internationally acclaimed glamour guru who markets beauty to the masses at some of the most successful cosmetic companies in the world. Today, Perry and Andrea are here to blow the whistle on the beauty business and share their own surefire secrets for looking your best. So let's get right to what they're going to uncover. Cosmetic chemist Perry Romanowski is starting us off. Now, I was shocked to find out this first revelation because I know you're all trying to do the right thing by protecting your skin. But it turns out the beauty industry doesn't want you to know that the SPF foundations and powders may offer less protection from the sun than you think. Perry actually analyzed these products, and as a cosmetic chemist, I'd love to know what you think is wrong about their efforts to put some protection into our face.
Well, the problem is that you're not getting nearly the amount of sun protection that you can get from a regular sunscreen that you're getting from these products. And the real issue with these products is that when you're applying them to your face, you're not getting nearly the coverage that you would get from a regular sunscreen. And really, you need that regular sunscreen because what a sunscreen will do is create this brick wall barrier, essentially, from the UV rays that can damage your skin. Now, when you're putting on this makeup, you're just putting it in spots, and that almost creates it's almost a leaky protection, like a chain link fence that'll come through and still cause aging and problems like that.
And a false sense of security. So I want to show you all exactly what Perry's talking about. We did a little experiment. We asked the model to put on some SPF sunblock. Here she is, lathering it on like you're supposed to. And then we put her under a black light to actually show how much coverage she was getting. And frankly, look at this. It's like a brick wall. She's completely covered, pasted in. Now look what happens when the model is wearing SPF makeup. Notice the splotchy areas. Notice that doesn't cover her well. Compare them together. Like Perry said, it's a chain link fence protecting your skin instead of what you really want, which is a complete brick wall supporting you. I never appreciated that was even possible, but it makes intuitive sense. So what do you recommend?
So to get the best protection, you should always use a sunscreen first, usually at least an SPF of 30, and then apply your makeup on top of that.
All right, so if you use an SPF 30, even if you don't get it perfect, you'll get enough coverage.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, next, one of the hottest ingredients out there, it's argan oil. Have you all heard of argan oil? Pretty much everybody. We've talked about it on this show a lot. I love it, but there's something the beauty industry doesn't want you to know. So I asked a member of my audience, in fact, a bunch of them, to bring in their argan oil products. I'm doing a little experiment here, if you can be patient with me. Stand up in the audience if you're able to bring one of these argan oil products. All right, there are almost a dozen of you there. All right, now Perry analyzed them. If he put a sticker on your product, look at the product. If there's a sticker on the product, please sit down. No one sitting? No one sat down. Perry, why are they all still standing? What does the sticker mean?
Well, what they all found was that they're getting a diluted version of argan oil. What a company can do is when they want to put argan oil on the front of the bottle, they can just take a little drop of that argan oil and put it in the big vat of the product that they're making, and they still claim that there's argan oil on there when there's not nearly enough in there to have an effect.
How many of you have shampoos? Let me show your hands. Any shampoo people? All right, because that's where the really wasteful process is. Why do you dislike shampoos with argan oil?
Well, think about shampoo here. For argan oil to have the effect on hair, it has to be left on the hair. It has to stay in the hair. And when it's in a shampoo, what happens is it just gets washed away right away, and so it's not left in the hair to have really any benefit.
All right, you guys can have a seat. But I probably wouldn't spend a lot of time on those argan products in the future, unless it's 100% argan oil.
Right, if you're going to get 100% argan oil, you're going to put that directly under your hair, and then you can get some benefit from that.
All right, next, please pay attention if you're using microbead facial scrubs. I have a couple examples here in front of me. If you don't mind, explain why these are on your blacklist.
Well, the problem with these micro beads is that they're put in there mostly for show. People like the way they feel when they're on their face, but you're not really having much scrubbing effect, and the product doesn't really need them in there. And the real problem with these beads is that they can build up in the environment and cause problems in the waterways, and they actually can have a problem building up in marine sea life, like mussels and clams, and that can be a real problem with the environment.
I mean, I see the beads, they're very small, but you're arguing they don't work and they're bad for the environment.
Exactly.
So I'm not sure it should be on your wish list either. Thanks, Perry. Before we visit my next beauty insider over at the cosmetics counter, take a look at what's in a cosmetic that you use every day. Can you tell if these are carcasses of dead insects? Ugh. Unbelievable. Cosmetics executive Andrea Robinson is here. Andrea, what is it that the beauty industry does not want you to know about these dead insect carcasses?
Well, these insects are processed and harvested for an ingredient called carmine. And carmine is that ingredient that gives a deep red dye pigment to cosmetics. And red lipstick has it, blushes have it, eyeshadows have it, and it's used broadly in the cosmetic industry. So the next time you see carmine on a label with red lipstick, think about what you're getting and imagine what your husband would say if he knew what he was really kissing.
There it is. The label on these products have lots of things, but carmine now is a tip-off. I got to say, in fairness to the industry, I probably wouldn't advertise that either.
No, I don't think so.
Who wants to spend less money on products, makeup and the like? Good reason. So there are department store cosmetic clones that I love to learn about. These are products that you actually could get for far less money. You say we should not be overspending if the exact same product is available cheaper.
Well, exactly. And here's how it works. Major corporations have many brands from the high end of the spectrum to the low end of the spectrum as far as price points go. And corporations have a cosmetic laboratory that develops a key or star ingredient. And then they take that ingredient, make similar products and with the identical ingredient and sell it at both ends of the price spectrum.
Same
so
product.
Basically, department stores and drugstores have similar products.
Let me test you all. Andrea bought 2 different types of eyeshadow compacts. One is a department store brand that costs about $60. The other, I'm not gonna tell you which one, is actually about $6. So basically you're saying there's a 10 times difference, a 10-fold difference in price for the same product?
I am Dr. Oz because what happens is department stores share one thing in common, high-end brands. Packaging is a big part of the element. And there's a mission of high-end products to really deliver to the consumer their aspirational thoughts, which are often, I want a beautiful compact, I want a great mirror, and I want an applicator that's fabulous. So these all add to the cost, as well as the promotion and the counter environment and the beauty advisors who help sell the makeup.
So which of these is the $60 one, which is the $6 one, these compacts?
Can you guess?
I have no idea.
I know which one, 60.
Now, how do you know that?
Because I can just tell.
Because you're the pro.
Well, I can tell. I look at the packaging. I can.
Well, how can everyone else tell? How can folks figure out the cheaper version that has the same benefits?
Well, I think that they have to go online. I think that's one thing. Google their favorite product or Google a product. And then they have to look at go back and look at at their favorite product, and then Google a similar product at a low end of the product spectrum, and they're going to be able to tell from the claims, from the ingredients, from all of those aspects what is written in the advertising.
Well, thank you for your wonderful advice to both of you. I appreciate it. For my Beauty Insider shopping guide, you can go to DrOz.com. Be right back.
Next, distracted, impulsive, angry outbursts. Often related to kids, ADHD is often misdiagnosed and widely untreated in many adults. Simple questions to uncover the 4 surprising signs that can help you spot adult ADHD. Next. All new Dr. Oz. Proof of angels.
How do you know if an angel is sending you a message?
A thought popped into my head. I need to go and see Grandma, and she passed away. I consider it an angel sent us there.
How does science explain divine intervention?
Connect with angels that everyone at home can do.
Will it make you a believer?
What do you have to say to skeptics?
All new Dr. Oz. That's coming up tomorrow.
ADHD is not a kids-only diagnosis. It's an adults. It's widely out there. It's untreated and misdiagnosed because the symptoms are easy to miss. So today I'm revealing the 4 surprising signs that can help you spot adult ADHD in yourself or someone that you care about. Joining me is psychiatrist Dr. Edward Hallowell, who has ADHD himself. So why are you concerned about women missing this diagnosis?
Most doctors don't know it exists in women. They think of it only as hyperactive little boys. In fact, a lot of women have it, and it can change their lives dramatically. They think they're underachieving because they lack discipline. That is what I call the moral diagnosis. I'm not trying hard enough. I need more discipline. I guess I'm just ditzy. I'm not that smart. That's not true at all. They're typically very smart, very creative. They just have trouble focusing and organizing. The diagnosis, the medical diagnosis, instead of the moral diagnosis, can give them a whole new lease on life. There's millions of women out there right now who could be so much more productive, so much happier in their marriage and their professional lives if they only could get this diagnosis.
I love the way you phrase that as a medical, not moral issue, because otherwise you blame yourself.
Exactly.
We want to demystify it a bit.
And they're full of shame. They're ashamed that they're not better organized. They don't have house beautiful. It's not a moral failing. It's a neurological difference.
So Dr. Hallowell has 4 questions about the biggest parts of your life. And these surprising signs pop up in many different ways. The first question is about family. So when you have a fight with your family member, I'll give you 3 choices, audience. Be honest about this with yourselves. Do you A, talk it out right then and there, get it out of the way? Do you B, regroup later after you've got time to think about it? Or do you C, have an angry outburst and then quickly move on? So let's move over to our brain over here and reveal the correct answer. You all ready for the answers? All right, go ahead, Dr. Hallowell.
It's C. You have an angry outburst. Emotion in people with ADHD, it's like a sneeze. You quickly get angry, or you quickly get giddy and happy and excited. They're just bubbling over with emotion, and the outburst quickly subsides, and it's replaced with a more stable state. But the sneeze of emotion.
Remember that. The sneeze of emotions are going to come up in a lot of these. Next is about your friends. Your closest friends, and only your closest friends, will describe you as A, a vault. Secrets are safe with you and they're not going anywhere. B, the chatterbox. You're always interrupting people. Or C, the politician who knows exactly what to say and when. Dr. Hallowell, what's the sign of ADHD?
It's the chatterbox, constantly interrupting. And again, not out of rudeness. They're just full of enthusiasm. They have an idea, oh, that reminds me of this. Or what you just said, oh, that reminds me of what we did last summer. I mean, just these tangents, they're just, it's like a popcorn, pop, 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 ideas, and they're so full of enthusiasm, but they have trouble staying on the topic and getting to the point. And so interrupting and can seem rude, but it's not rude at all. They tend to be incredibly generous, kind people, that are just victims of their own enthusiasm.
Do we see this in people who are friends with, pretty much? Yeah, I mean, this is such a typical thing. You always usually blame them.
Exactly. Or
use the phrase ditzy as you described earlier.
Yeah, and another description I use is it's like they've got a Ferrari engine for a brain, but with bicycle brakes.
I love it.
They have trouble controlling the power of the brain.
Use these tools as weapons to describe this to your friends as you break it to them that they have ADHD.
Yeah.
All right, the next question has to do with money. Before I reveal, I want you to think through this a little bit. When you have your heart set on buying something, do you A, research all the options, save up your money, then purchase it? Do you B, drop hints to your spouse and wait until they notice? It doesn't sound like ADHD to me. No. Or do you log online and snap it right up, right away? The sooner the better. It's of course, because it's in your hands quicker that way.
Exactly. It's C. It's the impulse buy. And again, one of the hallmark symptoms of ADD is impulsivity. We ADDers tend to be quite impulsive. But remember, what is creativity but impulsivity gone right?
Yes.
You don't plan to have a creative thought. You don't say it's 10 o'clock, time for my creative thought. They are necessarily impulsive, disinhibited, a race car brain with bicycle brakes. So there's a positive side to this impulsivity. Just be careful around money, that's all.
All right. And the last question is about the home. When you're looking at your desk or your closet, do you see a total mess? Or do you see piles of clutter, but at least you know where the things are? Or C, is the house really neatly organized? The sign of ADHD is?
It's B, piles. Everywhere you look, you find piles.
Not the mess.
Not the mess, piles. These piles, we ADDers, we know where things are. It's in that pile in the left-hand corner. It's in that pile in the basement. You know, these piles are, we have this strange way of sort of locating things in these piles. So we know where stuff is, it's just not orderly. And again, a lot of people feel ashamed of that. That means I'm a bad person. I should have neat photograph albums. I should have my Christmas cards out on time. I should, you know, it's not the way we live, and it's not a moral failing. It's simply a neurological difference.
So I want everyone to look at these signs. Angry outbursts, always interrupting, impulse buys, and piles of clutter. Find your friends or family who have these symptoms and tell them what Dr. Hollywood just told us. It's not a moral failing, it's a medical issue. How many symptoms do you have to have like this before people should be really thinking about ADHD?
I would say 2 or more, and combined with the feeling of unexplained underachievement, I know I could be doing better, either in my personal life, my professional life, or both. And it's a good news diagnosis, because once you get the right help, the diagnosis itself lifts the ton of shame off of your shoulders, and then the interventions can really provide you with focus, much as eyeglasses can.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you're concerned about symptoms like these, you can download the Ask MD app on DrOz.com. It'll help you diagnose all kinds of health problems. All you've got to do is answer a few quick, simple questions. Be right back.
Coming up, is a restful night's sleep eluding you because of this? If your partner's snoring is starting to affect your mood and health, it's time to get help. What anyone who sleeps with someone who snores can do to get the rest they deserve. Next.
It's the new year, and you want to lose weight. I get it. That's why I'm here to help you with the Total 10 Rapid Weight Loss Plan. This has been a year in the making. Over 2 million of you participated, and this new plan should give you the results you've been looking for. In just a few weeks, you could lose up to 10 pounds. No clubs, no fees, just medically sound, real advice. Start the plan now. What are you waiting for? Join me all this January. Happy New Year. We all know how easy it can be to catch something from our partners, from their bad mood to their cold. But is it possible to catch bad sleep? The couple you're about to meet says her snoring is hurting his health. They both need help. Take a look.
It started about a year ago. I even wake myself up from it. Snoring. I'll be laying on my back and I startle and wake myself up. It is scary. I have tried a few home remedies. I've tried putting peppermint oil on my chest so I can breathe better. I've tried sleeping on my right side, my left, my back. Nothing seems to really stop it. But I think the person who suffers the most from my snoring is my husband.
Deja's been snoring for about 2 years, and it's ruining my sleep. It's hard to describe, but it's just a deep, I don't want to say a deep growl, but it's something similar. Deja will go to bed before me, so by the time I go to the bedroom, I'll hear her snoring. To block out the noise, I would take 2 pillows, put one on each side, and they act as earmuffs. If I tap on her, then sometimes that'll stop her enough where I try to buy myself enough time so that I can go to sleep, but nothing works. I do wake up several times during the night. Once I'm awake, I can't go back to sleep. A lot of times it'll be 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. The bottom line is that I live on coffee. This is my stash of energy drinks. I go through about 2 of these a day. I feel sluggish and exhausted, so I take cat naps when I can, late afternoon.
I just look at him now and he's so tired. He looks exhausted.
Deja's offered numerous times to go downstairs and sleep on the couch, but the reality is I can't sleep without her, so I have to have her by my side for me to go to sleep. But so, yeah, I mean, it's an evil trade-off.
We got Deja and Paul here. So Deja, how much do you worry about affecting Paul's health after hearing that?
I worry a lot. I honestly didn't realize it was so bad. And he's exhausted all day. I don't want to be the cause of that.
And Paul, how about Deja's health? Are you concerned about it?
Absolutely. I would say one of my larger concerns is this snoring a signal or a symptom of something larger than just snoring, bad breathing, etc. You know, is there a larger question to her health?
So I know what your sleep is like. I know the extreme effort you're making to stay awake with all those energy drinks and all. Deja, how's your life? How's it going after you snore through the evening?
I wake up and my head just feels stuffy, huge and big, and I have sneezing fits.
She does. She sneezes quite a bit. It goes into several sneezing attacks.
Yeah,
Usually we start off in the morning. Sorry, usually we start off in the morning. We're just one bless you to cover her for the day, you know, for that morning.
Continuously. And let me go back to the point you brought up about the quality of the sleep that your wife's having. As you hear her gasping through the night, what do you think is going on?
I suffer from asthma, so I know what it's like to live without enough oxygen, or what it feels like not to have enough oxygen. So, you know, obviously that translates to what I see or what I hear Deja do in the morning, you know, through the night. So is it the lack? I know what it's like, and so that's the concern. Is there a suffocation or is there a choking?
Do you know much about sleep apnea?
Not that much, no.
Let me just explain it for everybody. Sleep apnea is when literally you start to suffocate when you're snoring. It sort of sounds like this. Instead of the which is the normal, it's, you know, the snoring will actually stop, and you'll have periods of time, 10 seconds long. It's like a bunch of freight trains crushing each other all night long, and it's actually awakening you. That was my first concern when I heard about your story, and that's why if I was Paul in your situation, I'd be worried about Deja. Come on back. I wanted to do a little testing to put in the truth tube, and so we actually sent you home with a device to track you as you slept. Because I wanted to find out, do you have sleep apnea? Because it's a problem, it's a dangerous condition, treatable, but we ignore it too often. And I have good news for you, because you don't.
Oh, good, okay.
And I'm happy about that, but it changes the conversation a little bit. But as I mentioned to all of you before, this isn't just about treating Deja. It's also about helping Paul. It's not an individual problem, it's a couple's issue.
Right.
I want to treat the couple. Paul says, yeah, hallelujah, that's right. Because it affects both your health. So I wanted to figure out how it actually affected each of your health. So we were able to obtain some audio, Deja, of you sleeping and snoring. So this is actually real time what it sounds like.
Okay.
Hey, could you sleep through this, folks? So we,
Feel my pain.
That's right. So we had Paul actually wear a device too. I wanted to track what your sleep was like as the snoring was going on. And the more Deja snores, the less you sleep. The quality of your sleep actually began to dramatically decrease through the snoring. In fact, we quantitated it. We put some numbers on it.
Oh, great.
And I bet you this is happening all over America right now. Paul, you had 3 sleep disturbances, which means you woke up 3 times during the evening because of snoring. How much do you think you slept?
As a total or I think at different intervals. I seem to think that I have intervals of sleep, meaning, you know, I might sleep for 2 hours, wake up, and then go back to sleep for 2 hours, wake up, go to sleep for, that's what I tend to think. Now, as an overall, as a total, I'm guessing 6 to 7 hours, 6 hours.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it was 4 hours and 28 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love you too, babe.
But I bring this up because we really can't tell about quality of sleep.
Yeah.
And we can measure with this device when you're really truly asleep. So you're getting less than 4.5 hours, which no wonder you're using all the energy drinks up and filling up the attic with them. So the question, is for me, when I see this, is what are the health implications for both of you? And we know that when you don't sleep, it causes a lot of problems. High blood pressure, you never think, but it's one of the easiest ways to treat high blood pressure. Diabetes, and of course, problems like obesity, which a lot of folks could get past really easily if they could sleep better. And you guys are always struggling with some of these issues. So I actually want to be able to offer you thoughts. How would it change your life if we could address Paul's problems at the same time addressing Deja's issues?
I would be elated. I don't know what to tell. I'd be
Then
grateful.
We'd both feel better and happier and be able to function better.
So I'm going to treat you as a couple because all across America, I've got to do the exact same thing. When we come back, we have a plan that will address snoring, but also what anyone who sleeps with someone who snores can do.
Does your significant other snore? How do you get them to stop?
My fiance Dan snores constantly, and we've tried everything from nasal strips to different positions and beyond. My next plan is a separate bedroom.
Share your story on Dr. Oz's Facebook page. Next, whether you snore at night or you sleep with someone who does, chances are you're both not getting the proper sleep to keep you healthy. Uncover easy techniques to put those sleep issues to bed. The dual plan for snores and their partners to finally get some rest. Next.
All new Dr. Oz, Proof of Angels.
How do you know if an angel is sending you a message?
A thought popped into my head. I need to go and see Grandma. And she passed away. I consider it an angel sent us there.
How does science explain divine intervention?
Connect with angels that everyone at home can do.
Will it make you a believer?
What do you have to say to the skeptics?
All new Dr. Oz. That's coming up tomorrow.
Whether you snore at night or sleep with someone who does, chances are you aren't feeling well rested right now. So I brought in the foremost expert on everything sleep, Dr. Michael Bruce. Now, he has a plan anyone with sleep issues is going to want to hear about. And this plan is going to help us specifically. It's got dual purpose. It addresses snoring, but it also addresses how the partner of a snorer can get a better night's sleep. So the first tip he gives is to position yourself for better sleep. So first let's tackle the snorer. How should they be sleeping?
Okay, so when you're thinking about positions, first of all, really interesting piece of information that the person lying next to the snorer, there's data to show that you lose an hour's worth of sleep a night. And I think we saw that in the truth tube for sure. So he's definitely hurting. Turns out that sleep position has a lot to do with snoring because, for example, if you lie on your back, oftentimes gravity pushes everything to the back of your throat and you have a greater likelihood to snore. That's why the elbow to the ribs and the roll over seems to work so well for so many people. But what people don't know is we're going to show you a way that you can sleep on your back and help reduce snoring.
And is it better to sleep on your back?
Generally speaking, it's actually better to sleep on your back because you have more surface area by which to hold the weight that's on your skeletal frame. If you're on your side, you actually crush the side and it makes you want to move more. So believe it or not, the best position to sleep in is actually on your back.
So both of you don't mind hop in bed here. Okay. Don't do anything else besides that, by the way. Daytime show, okay. So if you don't mind, if you can, teach Deja, if this is, well, that's...
Wrong?
No, I'm happy you did it wrong.
Okay.
Because I want people to understand how to do it right. So you got them a little, if you don't mind, sit for 1 second.
Yep.
So you got this little pillow. It's a little triangular pillow. You all see this here?
Yep,
all right, so
the wedge.
The wedge. We want people to buy the wedge. And where should they be putting it? Not like Deja just did it.
So what you want to do is you want to have the bottom of the wedge actually at the base of your back because you want your entire torso to lift up. So now go ahead and lie down for me. And your head, see, it's almost off the edge. Right?
Yeah.
That's perfect for you because what we're doing now is we're moving gravity sort of out of the equation here. And you can get a wedge that's of different sizes depending upon what your comfort level is, but you want it to be about 17 to 18 degrees or higher to be able to get this effect.
Is there a certain density of the foam?
So different densities are going to depend on the weight of the individual. She's small, so we don't have to have a really high density foam, whereas if we had it for you, we might have to have a deeper or thicker density foam.
And what about for Paul? If Deja still snores, even with the wedge.
So even if she's still snoring, then what we'd have you do is we'd have you change positions, and you would turn towards me, and Paul, you're going to turn away so that you guys are back to back. So in this instance, we're going to switch out the wedge, and we're going to have a normal pillow, because if I had you on a wedge while you were on your side, it would hurt your back, right? So since snoring is actually a sound wave, which is a matter wave, if our ears aren't next to it, we don't hear it nearly as much. So by being back to back, it turns out that you're actually not going to hear the snoring nearly as loudly. But not always the best thing, right? So what you can do...
Paul's mind's in one spot here.
Is if you wanted to, you could actually turn towards each other, so you could switch around. But what I have people do then, Paul, can I steal one of those pillows from you?
Absolutely.
Is you would actually put a pillow barrier right here between the two of you.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Very romantic.
I know. But it's less romantic to be sleep deprived, trust me. And that can help with things as well. Also, Paul, earplugs might not be a bad thing for you to consider. But when you're looking at earplugs, the foam-based earplugs, you want to have them noise level rated at 32 or below. Okay. And the reasoning is that way you can still hear the smoke alarm.
Gotcha.
All right, here, hop up. But I do think people could probably lie, across America with their backs to each other. Would you be able to do that?
Sometimes we do that as a resort. We have to resort, or at least I do. I resort to. I try to analyze how she's. You wake up, okay, and then you respond to that. So, I guess we could do that. We've done it in the past, laying back to back with each other. But I prefer to lay on my back because I used to lay on my stomach, and I've had back issues.
So
my back hurts.
If you laid on your back, then what we would have Deja then face away from you. So you can stay on your back because it's more comfortable for you, and you would be facing away. That way the sound waves travel this way and not towards you.
Right. Who would think there's so much science about how you sleep in bed? All right, hop up, both of you. We got a lot more tips to go through.
Here we go.
All right, the next step is to go on a snore diet, which you have over here. It turns out when you focus on eating light meals, they hydrate you, and they actually will promote deep sleep. Dr. Bruce, if you don't mind, walk us through these wonderful tips you have. How do these meals help us?
So when you look at these meals in particular, One of the things that we're trying to accomplish here is we know that if you lose approximately 5% of your body weight, it actually can reduce the decibel level of the snore pretty significantly, and sometimes 40 or 50 decibels. So we're not talking about a tremendous amount of weight, a little bit of weight. And we didn't want you to be making one thing for one person, one thing for the other, so we're going to combine them all together. So here we've actually got a halibut, which is a lighter type of fish, not quite as oily, nice high in protein. Also, if you notice, there's broccoli in this. So what a lot of people don't know is broccoli actually helps you metabolize caffeine. So if you're having caffeine later in the day, and by the way, Mr. Energy Drink over here.
Just a couple, right?
Yeah, so let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
You know, when you look at the different energy drinks, you need to be pretty careful because those can have a half-life in your system pretty long time, and it makes you more sensitive, easier to arouse while you're sleeping. So you end up in a lighter stage of sleep, and guess what you hear when you're in a lighter stage of sleep? Her snoring. Yeah. So there might be some, contribution of the energy drink to your staying up at night and hearing her snoring. So I'd rather you slow down on those pretty significantly if you can.
My goal would be not to use them at all.
That would be great.
That's my goal.
But if you are going to use caffeine, for everybody, remember the tip: broccoli, good for you for weight loss reasons, good for the non-sleeper because of the snore, because it metabolizes caffeine. And what's the last food you should love?
The last food looks like it's a stuffed chicken and a stuffed turkey maybe, and it's got grains and it's got a lot of good greens in it. Again, this is a nice lighter food, but it keeps you hydrated. If you notice, we've got a lot of hydrated vegetables here. So the more hydrated you are, it actually turns out the less you snore because your body, when you're very, very dehydrated, your body has a greater tendency to snore.
Real quick, so you have your daily intake of water. Should you add to that? So should she be drinking more water so that she's hydrated?
Well, number one, you got to make sure that you are well hydrated. The easiest way to see that is when you urinate, if it's clear, you know that you're well hydrated. So I would go off of that, and if you're starting to notice that it's more of a yellow tinge to it, then I would increase your water intake.
But there's another type of hydration we're going to talk about now.
Yes, there is.
This is to decongest yourself for better rest because congestion causes snoring. You may have noticed that yourself.
Yeah.
Deja, that allergies or just feeling full hurts you. So what do you recommend, Dr. Bruce?
So what I recommend is using a neti pot. So this is a great way. This has been around for thousands of years.
Have you ever done this before?
Not with the neti
All
pot,
right,
no.
come on, let's do it together. Here you are.
So you actually help irrigate the nasal passages, and you use a little bit of saline or salt water, and you actually pour it up into one nostril. It'll actually swish around and then comes out the other side.
Do the right nostril, all right? You gotta put her head down. Now, you don't just throw it down there. You gotta do it carefully. But it is like brushing your teeth once you figure it out. What a gentleman. What a gentleman.
I'm the victim.
I'm the victim. I'm the victim. My goodness. All right, you put it in one nostril, lean your head forward, turn the water over, and just keep going until it comes out the other nose, just like that.
Perfect.
How's that?
You got both doing great.
You're both doing it. You got to watch the whole thing out. I know it looks crazy, but it really works. Dr. Bruce, what about the partner of the snore while I'm blowing my nose with this stuff?
So the partner of the snore absolutely can do this as well to help decongest yourself. But what this will do is it pulls out all of the congestion, all of the inflammation, all of the kind of the gunk and the guck that ends up in there all day long. Believe it or not, you might have a lot of allergens that are in your bedroom or that you take from outdoors that can actually have a pretty big effect on creating that congestion. Nasal strips are another thing that can actually be quite helpful, but you want to make sure you don't put them across the bridge of your nose. You put them lower down to actually help flare the nostrils a little bit and open up the nostrils, because a lot of people put them too high.
How's your neti pot experience?
Interesting, I can do that.
Interesting. What a polite response. All right. Now, and we've got one last little tip. This is for the partner of the store in particular.
So one of the things we know is that aromatherapy can actually be very effective in helping people fall asleep. But remember, you don't just sniff something and pass out, right? Unless it's like ether or something like that, right? Chloroform would be bad. But what lavender does, there's actually double-blind, placebo-controlled studies to show that it actually helps a relaxation response and helps people get into deeper sleep. So for you, one of the things that we might consider is like a lavender spray on your pillow, because as you're breathing that in, you'll actually get more relaxed and brings you into a deeper sleep. Interesting, a lot of women don't like to put the spray on the pillow because it gets on their hair, and then their hair smells like lavender all day. So, but guys don't really seem to care.
No, I'm willing to do it.
I've really enjoyed you. I'm glad you love each other so much you want to deal with this. I want a lot of other folks to follow suit. It makes sense. For all this information we talked about today and all the information from our TruthTube experts, you go to droz.com. We'll be right back.
Next, eating a heart-healthy diet and exercising are the most important things you can do for your heart. But did you know you could do more? Find out what you can do to keep your blood pressure and cholesterol in check. The 3 heart-healthy supplements everyone should know about. Next.
It's the new year, and you want to lose weight. I get it. That's why I'm here to help you with the Total 10 Rapid Weight Loss Plan. This has been a year in the making. Over 2 million of you participated, and this new plan should give you the results you've been looking for. In just a few weeks, you could lose up to 10 pounds. No clubs, no fees, just medically sound, real advice. Start the plan now. What are you waiting for? Join me all this January. Happy You Year. American Heart Month kicks off in just a few days, so today I'm getting you ready with 3 supplements for better heart health. Here to help me reveal them on behalf of our sponsorship partner, Walmart, is pharmacist Zach Fry. Welcome. We all know that eating a healthy diet, exercising are the most important things you can do for your heart, but help people understand why supplements can help as well.
Well, Dr. Oz, as you know, supplements, in addition to healthy lifestyle changes, can be very beneficial in helping maintain cholesterol, triglyceride, and blood pressure levels that are already within the normal range. Now, as you know, with any supplement, they are not regulated by the FDA. They're not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or really prevent any disease. They're just another tool that people can use to help them have a healthier heart.
All right, so let's go three of my favorites, actually. These supplements that can round out your heart-healthy diet. So the first heart-healthy supplement is, over here, coenzyme Q10, shortened to CoQ10. Now, why is this heart-healthy?
CoQ10 is an antioxidant. It's made by the body. It's found in many foods, and it's also, of course, available as a supplement. CoQ10 actually is produced within our cells and helps with energy production, even within the heart. Spring Valley CoQ10 is a great product and one that I recommend all the time to my patients.
Let me explain a little bit about CoQ10. I heard about it first from a friend of mine who's an older gentleman who was a big-time athlete. And he said it really changed his life, so I looked into it. It actually does help lower your blood pressure. Let me show you why. Here's an animation of what your artery normally looks like. And you got the blood flowing through. You got all these layers squeezing. When you have high blood pressure, they're squeezing too much. Coenzyme Q10 opens up the blood vessels. So if you open it up, more blood can go through at a lower pressure. The actual push on the side of the wall goes down because your blood vessels are opening up. Again, one of the goals for lowering your blood pressure is to take the tension off the arteries. Now, Zach mentioned something very interesting. He said, it's in some foods. It is in some foods. And you should be thinking to yourself, you always should think this, can I just get it from the food instead of from a pill? It's a very good question to ask. But in this case, in order to get the recommended amount of CoQ10, you'd have to get roughly 8 pounds of beef, which is more than I want you to take on any plan that I give to you. Or, if you want to be more vegetarian, you could take 10 pounds of peanuts. It would taste good, but it's a lot to go down. Here's the best part, oranges, rich in vitamin C. They have some CoQ10 too. You need 300 oranges to get enough. So it's hard to get there. So Zach, if you want to take it in the pill form, how much coenzyme Q10 do we need to take in order to benefit?
I recommend taking 100 milligrams once or twice a day.
All right, so it's a reasonable dose, and again, in pill form is probably the easiest way to get it. Final tip, if you're going to take coenzyme Q10, take it with a meal containing a little bit of fat. It'll help you absorb the coenzyme Q10 a little more effectively. Second heart-healthy supplement is fish oil. We brag about them all the time. Please explain why, maybe better than everything else, this is critical for your heart.
I know fish oil is one of your favorite supplements, and fish oil is an excellent source of omega-3 fatty acids. Now, research has shown that omega-3 fatty acids can help maintain healthy triglyceride levels. Spring Valley fish oil is an excellent product. It's actually naturally sourced from fish, and I know it's a concern for a lot of people, but this product here is actually purified to remove any mercury.
And how much do you have to take in order to get the benefit?
You want to take up to 1,000 milligrams of omega-3s per day.
All right, so again, we label on the bottle as well. The third heart-healthy supplement is vitamin D, which we hammer you guys about. Vitamin D is great for so many things. What's the specific benefit for the heart?
Vitamin D has long been known for its role in building strong bones, but there are some recent studies that may suggest its role in cardiovascular health. There are a growing number of studies that indicate that low levels of vitamin D may impact the health of your heart. So I always recommend that vitamin D as a part of any supplement plan. Spring Valley Vitamin D is a great product that I recommend to my patients very often.
So listen, we talk about vitamin D a lot because so many of us are deficient in it. And why? Because you got to get it from the sun, the best source, which is hard to do, especially in the winter months. You can get it from your diet too. Things like mushrooms have a little bit, but it's hard to get as much as you need. So the vast majority of us need a supplement. I take a supplement for that reason, and we talk about it a lot for that show. If someone's going to take a supplement and they're healthy and they want to help with their heart, what's the right dose for vitamin D?
You want to take 1,000 IUs.
1,000 IUs to get a level that I think will be good for us. So Zach, where can you find these supplements?
Spring Valley vitamins are available exclusively at Walmart. They're America's #1 vitamin brand. They have more than 300 vitamins, supplements, and oils. And there's this really cool tool that they have now. It's the VitaSelect tool. You can use that to make a personal vitamin recommendation, and you can find that at walmart.com.
Right, so here's the deal. We're teaming up with them to bring healthy back. Beginning tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, you can go to droz.com to be one of the first 1,000 to receive all 3 of these Spring Valley products for free. Audience, guess what? You're all going home with these 3 Spring Valley products as well. Compliments of Spring Valley. Thanks to our sponsorship partner, Walmart. We'll be right back.
All new Dr. Oz, proof of angels.
How do you know if an angel is sending you a message?
A thought popped into my head. I need to go and see Grandma, and she passed away. I consider it an angel sent us there.
How does science explain divine intervention?
Connect with angels that everyone at home can do.
Will it make you a believer?
What do you have to say to the skeptics?
All new Dr. Oz. That's coming up tomorrow. All new Dr. Oz, proof of angels.
How do you know if an angel is sending you a message?
A thought popped into my head. I need to go and see Grandma, and she passed away. I consider it an angel sent us there.
How does science explain divine intervention?
Connect with angels that everyone at home can do.
Will it make you a believer?
What do you have to say to the skeptics?
All new Dr. Oz. That's coming up tomorrow.
You all know that I love dogs, but I also happen to belong to a special breed of person. That's right, I'm a cat lover, and I'm a very proud cat owner now because my cat, that's baby cat there, he's sort of a prima donna. He's featured in the book A Letter to My Cat by Lisa Ersbaumer. It's a tribute to the special relationships we share with our feline friends. And just to point it out, pet owners have greater self-esteem, greater conscientiousness, and they deal with fear better because of companionship. They've always got someone near them. So consider adopting a little fur ball. It's a great health change that you could make. Now it's time for In Case You Missed It. First, I revealed the secrets the cosmetic industry has been keeping from you. One of them, and I want you all to be aware of this, is diluted argan oil. Many of the products with added argan oil just aren't giving you what they need, especially the shampoos. So if you want to really get the benefits of argan oil, here's what I want you to do. So whatever shampoo you're going to use it. Doesn't matter. Use it and then wash it off. Then add 100% pure argan oil to your scalp afterwards. And using the pure product ensures you're getting the effects. And because there's only one ingredient, you know what you're getting and you're getting what you're paying for. Next, I'll give you my plan to stop snoring. I want all the snorers out there, remember this, because it helps people you're sleeping with. Position yourself for better sleep. Listen, use gravity. It's your ally. Try elevating your head about 4 inches. You can use one of these incline pillows if you want. These are wedges. They may help you ease the breathing issues you're having, and it encourages your tongue and your jaw to literally move away from everything. Finally, be careful of dubious people online that make it seem like I'm endorsing their products, because I don't. To see a full list of our trusted sponsorship partners, you can go to droz.com, and I will see you all next time.